Hi there. Today I'm going to show you how to make a very simple dice tray for your many gaming needs. The cost of the materials altogether is about 12 or so dollars. The frame that you buy, that I got from Michael's, is $10 give or take, and then the felt on the inside is like 40 cents or something per sheet. So altogether, plus tax, whatever, it's like $12. And when you buy the frame, you basically have everything that you need. You just need to make some slight modifications to it. So here's the frame itself. It's some studio decor frame. It's not like a regular picture frame. I find that picture frames aren't deep enough to really hold dice. So if you get a studio tray, you're much better off. Or a studio frame, excuse me. You'll find here on the back of the studio tray you have this hanger frame of sorts that you're going to want to take off with a screwdriver, otherwise the frame won't be able to lay flat on a table. And there's a plug or like another hanger of sorts that's right by the stickers and the pricing. If you just yank on that with your fingers, it'll come off pretty easily. Once you have that taken care of, you're going to want to take care of this glass. And the best way that I find to break the glass, now you can do it any different ways, and you have to be very careful when working with glass, because if you shatter it wrong, or if you're not in a very good environment to work with it, then you could get glass everywhere, and that's not a fun time. But what I do here is that I'm working in a very confined space, so I don't have to worry about glass going everywhere. And the way that the frame is, the glass is set on the inside, kind of. So what I do is rest the frame with the glass down, and then I'm just gonna give it a good whack with the blunt side of, or the underside of the screwdriver. And when it breaks, it's gonna break downward so that it's still gonna be within the confinement of the frame. So all the glass pieces will not go flying anywhere onto the ground or anything. You want to be very careful when disposing of the glass. What I like to do is sweep all the glass properly so that I get all of it, and double wrap it in plastic bags before I dispose of it, because otherwise the glass could possibly break the bag and then get everywhere, and that's not fun. But also make sure that you're wearing some sort of a covering for your hands, because you could possibly cut your hands. If you have a better way to deal with the glass, then you're more than welcome to do that. My only caution is to be careful, because there's a chance that you could break the frame. So this way, the way that I break it, it doesn't put that much force onto the frame itself, so I don't really run the risk of breaking the frame. Because I actually have broken a frame accidentally because I was being very haphazard with it, and then the glass got everywhere, so that wasn't cool. But otherwise, once that's done, you can take your felt or something else, which really is just more an aesthetic thing, just to add a little bit of personalization and protectiveness towards your dice if you care for that. And I like it because of the contrast that it gives. When you're cutting the felt, you want to make sure that you kind of leave a little bit of extra room for when the frame goes over the square itself. Because if you cut it to be almost exact, then when the felt on the inside kind of shifts around and such, you run the risk of it kind of popping out of the frame. I really like this frame because it has the square borders on it, or rather the flat borders on it. When I went to Michael's to pick out frames, there were other ones that were larger and actually still the same price. But the only problem was that it didn't have those flat edges. So, when you roll the dice, and then let's say you need to re-roll or do whatever, or showcase whatever dice results you got, you can pick them up and lay them onto the side of the frame, and they won't fall off. But you can't do that with, if they have like curvatures on them or whatever. But you're totally free to get whatever you want. I of course am just putting this video out there just as a, hey, if you guys don't know, Go get a studio frame, break the glass, bam, instant dice tray. It's super cheap, it's really great, and has really, it's just a great thing to have around so that dice don't go flying everywhere.